Hello. I've just burnt my potatoes. I put, I've got downstairs. I've got about 8 sweet potatoes in the oven. Well, I had them in the oven, and I've just left them on. But I didn't realise that sweet potatoes cook much quicker than your average potato. Needless to say, they look like hand grenades now, and they're quite crispy, but they're all right. They're going to be all good. So that's tomorrow's lunch sorted. Um, Only I can do it. Anyway, I thought I would share a my thoughts. I'm just sitting here now, and I'm just thinking about doing a little project. I basically have these things in. Now, this come out of a bicycle. It wasn't parked outside my house or anything, and I just saw the battery. No, my neighbour, he had one, and he burnt the electric motor out. So I thought, oh, nice, electric. It's electric. It's got a battery in it. What could I use the battery for? So he gave me the battery, which I've pulled apart because obviously that's what I do. There it is. That's inside it. And there are 4. Well, in fact, there's 8 of these. I've got 8 of these, and I've broken them into 2 blocks of 12 because it was a 24-volt battery. Each one of those cells is 3.2 volts and 10 amp hour. You'll notice that there's a whole bundle of wires on there, and they are the individual, basically battery monitoring sort of stuff. And that's something you've got to know about these batteries, because these are raw, these things. Basically, that is a cell that is hard in there. There is no protection at all. So if these discharge in the wrong way, you can ruin the battery. If they overcharge, you can ruin the battery. So you have to do this properly. And the way to do that is to use a something called a BMS, and it looks like one of these. There you go. That there is a typical kind of balance cell balancing sort of circuit, and this one is for LifePO4, which is what I've got there. And you can see the 4 3.2 volt batteries and the way that it's wired up. And then you take your power off of this BMS board itself, and what will happen is when the batteries go down to a certain point, this will shut the whole thing off, so you don't damage any individual cell, or if one cell goes down, it knows and will flag it up. You've also got down here, I don't know if you can see that there, that's a temperature sensor, so you can put a temperature sensor on, say, the middle cell or something like that, and just keep an eye on the temperature, so it will shut down if it gets too hot. So, and these are not very expensive at all. So I need to get one of these, but obviously at the moment things are a bit difficult to get. So this might go on the back burner, but it's a thought. It's a thought. The other thing is, if things get themselves sorted out and I still feel that I want to go out and take a radio out with me, then I was actually looking at something else that would probably do it. And suddenly I started thinking about LifePO4 batteries and what was available. You know, if I had an 818 now, what would I use to shove in my pocket or my backpack and then take it off wherever I was going to go, and it would last a lot longer than the standard internals. Well, I found these a little while back. It's nothing new, it's just a battery. This is actually a motorcycle battery, more likely, but these things are very light indeed. They are basically half a kilo as opposed to about 1.5 kilos of lead acid. That's the equivalent. But they are actually something to remember here. These are actually, if you look here, it says basically 12 volt 36 watt hour. Now, if you divide 36 watt hour by 12 volts, it gives you about 3 amp hour. Now, bear in mind that a LifePO4 battery has about twice the effective kind of use. So a 3 amp hour LifePO battery is about equivalent of a 6 amp hour lead acid battery, give or take. All right, and that's the way they perform. But the way these things perform in a very different way. A lead acid battery would tend to kind of drop off in a steady sort of down, whereas these will actually stay level and then just drop off towards the end. And in fact, this will probably have some kind of charge circuit, again like a BMS circuit, because this will be a whole group of 3.2 volt cells normally. I don't know what's inside it. So the bottom line is that this will eventually at some point reach the point where the cells are actually at that kind of critical mass, and then the charge circuit or the protection circuit will just say that's it, enough's enough, and then turn it off. So yeah, that's it really. But then I was kind of thinking, I've actually got another aerial downstairs. I've got an old super antenna, and if you don't know what a super antenna is, it looks like one of these. Basically, I haven't got the bag or anything posh like that. I've got an old fishing bag holdall thing, and I've got this kind of G-clamp affair and this thing, and I don't have this. Mine's an old wire thing, much lighter and sort of smaller. I prefer mine, to be honest. But my coil has actually got this thing here is all open, and it's actually this has got like a nice plastic cover over the outside, like a heat shrink cover. Mine hasn't. Mine's got bare enamelled wire, just easily damaged. I think that's the thing. And I don't have this posh tungsten whip. I've only just got this telescopic whip, and I've broken it a couple of times now, and had to buy a new one. I don't have one of these posh measurers either, and all I've basically got is a bit of wire, one of these things, and one of those parts, and a coil, and that's it. And it works really, really well. It's not too bad. So yeah, that's my kind of thought process, just to make a nice little portable pack up. I mean, I could use the U-Bit X. That would probably work well, but I want to sell that. So I'm not going to keep hold of that. I have actually got an old Donkey 817 back there, a straight 817 as well. So maybe when all this sort of sorts itself out, I might do a little video and take this lot out portable with what I've made. So there you go. But I just thought I'd take you along on my little thought process and tell you the story about my potatoes. I hope they're all right tomorrow. Oh dear, only I could do that. Anyway, so yes, but it's been an interesting day at work again today. I've had to, I've meandered in today. There's still a very, very, very skeleton crew of us there, and we're all taking every precaution and possible. Basically working individually, chatting via WhatsApp and stuff like that, just trying to keep on top of things. And we're still getting the orders out, but it's one hell of a mission. All the sales guys and the people that don't need to be there are all at home. And yeah, it's very interesting times. So yeah, it is very interesting. But we've overtaken the store now, and the store is very, very closed, and we've now got in the actual store part, it's kind of like that's our goods outwards area, so that it's kind of nice and easy to pick. But yeah, what an adventure. I mean, at the moment, I don't know how long that will last. The government are encouraging mail order companies to keep going. I mean, obviously they need the money as much as anybody else. And it's nice actually, because I kind of I was listening tonight. Actually, there was a group of people all sort of chatting, and of course I know the call signs from the days, so I know the aerial they're using and stuff like that. So it's always nice. So I know that it's all up and running, and they're all sort of chitty chatting. I mean, because could be a bit of a lifeline to some people. They're all locked up for a long period of time. But anyway, I did say the other day that I would mention music, and I didn't. I don't know, I forgot. I had a few questions recently. Where I get my music from for when I do the firmware videos and stuff like that. I use like dance sort of tracks and stuff. And I honestly, I didn't. I've had a few questions in the past, but never that one. But it came up about 4 or 5 times, and anyway, cut long story short, I use the YouTube audio. So if you've got a YouTube channel or whatever, then you can get the audio from that, and most of it's free or royalty free. But the other service I use is Epidemic Sound, and that is not that is kind of it is no. You can use it. It's license. You need to basically license it. You get you get whitelisted, but it's a paid for service. So yeah, it's quite good. Better quality music on that. In fact, I actually go as far as listening to that myself when I listen to it, because it's actually quite good music. But that's where I get my music from. So, and if you're interested in Epidemic Sound, do click the link down below, because they give me a free month or something. I don't know, which is always nice. There are also all the things I've mentioned today. I've got links and stuff down below, so do click on them. Again, they're affiliate links. It does support the channel. I have been spending a little bit. Just before all this stuff kicked off, I bought that Kerberos thing, and I've still not got over the extra fees thing that I got nobbled with, which is 41 quid. So that was quite an expensive month. The good news is that I'm going to start progressing with that, and I haven't had much luck with it. But I'm gonna work it out. I'll get there with it. We'll see. It can't be that difficult, surely. But it works with your mobile phone. I did a little quick look at it, and that's as far as I got with it. I obviously things have been a bit busy since, so I've not done anything more with it. But I will do. And also, I can't drive out with the car with it, can I? At the moment, so I'm literally just driving backwards and forwards to work, and so I can't go playing out direction finding. Dear, that will get me into trouble. So yeah, I think that is it. Don't think there's anything else. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.